welcome you on the show 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adedi Aji Shafe. Well, a lot actually happened in the world of sport during the weekend. Looking at football, MPFL, Premier League, La Liga, not forgetting Italia, Serie, where our old man, Ademola Lookman, is really holding sway, doing so well there when they bashed Juventus 4-0. The Bianconeri really turning old lady in that encounter. More of this different stories that we'll actually be bringing for you on the show. 360 Sport. We have our own Eniola Bolaji doing so well over there in Spain. That will be the first story we're looking at on the show. We look at para badminton. Eniola Bolaji clinches gold at Spanish para badminton international 2. Well, right now this lady and other Nigerians that are participating in this competition are doing so well. She did well in that encounter, winning that game 2-0, and right now she's being celebrated, winning gold. And Eniola Bolaji has not stopped where she dropped the baton at the Olympics, where she won bronze medal in para badminton. And really, we need to celebrate her for what she's doing because of the fact that she's still really coasting home against all odds. And right now we're celebrating Eniola Bolaji for being able to win gold over there in Spain. 4 other Nigerians are with her, and right now they are also trying their best to see how they will do well in this different category of para badminton competition taking place there in Spain. Congrats to her for that. Beautiful smile coming from Eniola Bolaji, being celebrated across board since weekend, and now we are also celebrating her for what she has done, making para badminton so easy. Anytime you watch her participating, you wonder if really she's playing this sport or she's just having some fun, and really she deserves all the accolades that she's getting. Well, still talking about Nigerian sportsmen and women. Some Nigerians also gathered in Ibadan, precisely at Adamasingba in Ibadan, where they competed in arm wrestling. Arm wrestling is fast becoming a sport to be reckoned with, and right now we have them doing so well. All of them gathering there. Although Team Lagos actually triumphed with 19 gold medals that they won, sending signal to other nations that will be coming for the African Championship that will be coming up in Abuja later. But right now, this is the Open Championship that took place in Ibadan, where about 120 arm wrestlers came together and they competed in the competition. Kudos to our own number one, as it is right now, Chibueze Stevens, who is also doing so well in the competition there. Rather, he did well at the competition, triumphing. And for Team Lagos, they did well. They were able to do it, and they got 19 gold medal in this particular sport of arm wrestling. Arm wrestling, you see the clips there, looking at those guys. This is a sport that you think is easy. It's not at all, with so much strength and power that they have to showcase when it comes to arm wrestling, and it's getting more popular. That's our number one champion in Nigeria. That's Steven, who is really defeating everyone, and right now he says he wants to dominate Africa, and he's really doing so well. Looking at him showing his strength when it comes to arm wrestling right now. Give it to Chibueze Steven, number one, also representing Team Lagos there. Beautiful smile, and he has done well for himself in this sport, and he's winning so many medals at the Nigerian Arm Wrestling Open Championship that took place in Ibadan there. Looking at Chibueze Steven, you look at the fact that himself and a host of other Nigerians participating in that arm wrestling competition. Giving kudos to them, because by the time African arm wrestling competition starts, we hope that Stephen Chibueze will be able to make us happy and also win so many medals for this nation. Looking at the fact that Team Lagos won 19 gold medals, Oyo State hosted the event, and they really hosted well right now, setting standard for hosting that particular sport, arm wrestling. Well, like I always say, that not everyone will play football. We have some set of Nigerians who are doing so well in arm wrestling, and we have to celebrate them for the fact that they participated in the competition. Well, we actually talked about Eniola Bolaji in para badminton. Now we talk about arm wrestling. Now you can see that so many Nigerians are into different sports where they are also kings and queens in their own right. So as we celebrate the Super Eagles, Super Falcons, the Tigers, the Tigress, we also need to celebrate these sportsmen and women who are doing so well in arm wrestling and also in the sport of para badminton. Well, we've been talking about Nigerians who are doing so well in different sporting moments, and right now we talk about the MPFL. MPFL happened during the weekend. So many matches were played. Katsina United defeating Shooting Stars, not forgetting Aqua United playing a draw against Rangers. Rangers coach said they actually underrated Aqua United for the fact that they've not been doing so well in the MPFL right now. Well, talking about the MPFL, Aqua United draw Rangers as Sunshine Stars salvage points in Lafia. Well, this is a good one for the teams that actually travel to Lafia to play Sunshine Stars. Right now against Nasarawa United. They actually salvaged a point there. Aqua United also shocked Rangers because if you check Aqua United, this season they've not been doing so well, but they were able to get a draw away against Rangers International. That was a shocking moment that they were not expecting between them and Aqua United, who came visiting. We'll be looking at the Premier League. Well, a lot of result matches were played. Looking at the result, let's have it before we at least have Anton Badminton is joining us from Lagos. But right now, looking at the result there, Bende Insurance, they defeated the Raymond Stars team. They're actually table toppers, but the point is cutting down little by little. Lobby Stars, they lost again against Ikorodu City. Watch out for that Coach Aweroro, who is doing so well with Ikorodu City against all odds. He took over, and now Ikorodu City, newcomers in this MPFL, are doing so well. We're talking about that with Eniola. Enugu Rangers 1-0 against Aqua United. Eyimba 1 against Academic Warriors. Bayelsa United 1, Heartland 1. Katina, of course, defeated Shooting Stars 1-0. That game was played on Friday. Kwara United 2. Kano Pillars, they fell to Kwara United in that game 2-0. Nasarawa United played 1-0 against Sunshine Stars for Akure, who came visiting, and they were able to share the spoil there. Abia Warriors, they were defeated in Jos. I guess the code in Jos, they stopped the Abia Warriors. They lost that game by a lone goal, while Rivers United in Port Harcourt were able to win against Niger Tornadoes in those games that happened during the weekend in match day 28 of the Nigerian Premier Football League. Well, before Eniola Badminton joined us, we talked about para badminton, we talked about arm wrestling, and now MPFL. So 3-1 for you before we talk about the table. Eniola Badminton, good to have you on the show. Okay, hopefully, we are hoping that Eniola will be able to at least get to join us. Well, as it is, we're still hoping that he will be able to do it. While we're talking about MPFL, let's look at the table right now. Okay, Eniola Badminton, we can hear you. Let's have you. Before you joined us, we talked about Eniola Bolaji clinching gold at Spanish Badminton International, and also arm wrestling took place in Ibadan, where we have the likes of Chibueze doing so well for Team Lagos to dominate. And we also look at the result of the MPFL, where some results were not expected. So 3-1 for you just in a jiffy before we talk about the table. Eniola.
It's your last word, and we are all living in it, basically, because she has shown time and time again how good she is. Previously, you think maybe she dominates only in Africa, but she has step up to the world level, where she is also dominating and winning major championships, major events in the world of para badminton. And she needs to get more support, and that's the only way we can make her better. That's the only way we can celebrate her, give her all the support as she did. But for the MPFL in the weekend, it was a powerful weekend. The shuffling on the table in terms of the results and what it portends for teams going on relegation and teams trying to gain advantage of being in continental position shows why the MPFL is one of the toughest leagues in the world.
Okay, seriously, it was a moment of surprise. Actually, it wasn't a defeat, it was a draw, but Rangers never saw that coming against Aqua United. What can you say about that match?
Those are tough games you expect in the league. You have to be honest. Aqua United is fighting for their life. They are looking. What is ahead of them, in front of them, is a trip to the NNL. But now they are trying to give themselves a fighting chance with about 10 or less games to the end of the season. We know that Rangers is also getting into the mix for continental places. Apart from Real Monsters at the top of the table, the teams from 2nd to 7th to 8th can still end up in top 3. So everybody felt Rangers playing at home should be an easy ride over a struggling Aqua United. But that just shocked a whole lot of people. Aqua United scored first, and Rangers had to rally back to get an equalizer in that game. So that tells you how tough the league can be, because your opponent is fighting for their life while you are also fighting for an opportunity to go to the continent.
Okay, well, seriously, another big one happened in Kwara where they defeated Kano Pillars 2-0. Well, for Bende Insurance was 2-1 against tabletop Raymond Stars. Raymond Stars now, the gap now is getting cut down little by little. From the way it says, you think they can sustain the remaining games to win this league?
Absolutely, I think so. What they've demonstrated over the season is a level of consistency that you rarely seen by other teams in the league. So that's so much about the effort they put into to get into this position. Yes, they're about 8 points, a single digit lead at the top of the table, but they also know that teams behind them were also fighting for positioning because nobody is guaranteed anything. So that loss against Bendel Insurance is such expected in a way because Bendel Insurance has just gotten their whole stability in terms of coaching crew and then their government finding their feet to concentrate in propelling the team and helping the team stabilize. So we expect that the basics the Rebels starting to do is to win all their home games basically and see the few points they can get away from home and they have smooth sailing to the end of the league and of course winning their very first league title since their existence. So it's not so much worry yet unless they start dropping more games. Then we can now start talking about maybe the points or the
Okay, so Anito Badminton will actually come back to join us there. Well, right now we're talking about the MPFA match day 28 that took place across Nigeria in different stadia. And right now, teams like Raymond Stars draw point. They lost against Bende Insurance in Benin City. And you have Kano Pillars also being defeated by Kwara United 2-0 over there in Ilorin. But as it says, while we're waiting for Badminton to join us, we just have to at least have a clip, or rather, we have the chance to at least look at all those goals being scored. As we're talking about it, well, for these games that are being played across Nigeria, a fantastic performance from other teams who really fought hard. And we look at the likes of Eyimba, not forgetting the likes of Katsina United, who won their game at Tule, scoring that fantastic goal there for his team. And you just have to appreciate that goal right now. That goal seems to be one of the best scored during match day 28 in the MPFL right now. Talking about all the goals that were scored and also having a glimpse of all the goals that have been scored. Okay, anything about, as we're talking, okay, as it says, we know that matches is getting tougher and tougher in the MPFL, and teams like Raymond Stars, yeah, like you said, they can sustain it. And you look at Rangers, Rivers United, Shooting Stars, but surprisingly, there is a team that is surprising everyone. That is Ikorodu City, led by Coach Awero, who took over. And right now, it has been kind of a roller coaster for that team. What can you say about that coach? It seems his tactics are really working for that team, Ikorodu City. Okay, well, seems Senator still not with us. Okay, we hope that you can still join us. But Coach Awero is doing so well with that team. And right now, he has been able to propel Ikorodu City to be among the top in the MPFL. Let's take a look at how the table is after those games were played. And this man, Ikorodu City, has been able to do well. The coach there is really leading that team to glory. They have 44 points from 28 matches after having 9 as their goal difference. You have to give kudos to Ikorodu City. Despite being their first time in the MPFL, they are really rolling down and they are really doing so well. And that's why attention has been on that coach who used to be a fourth assistant coach with Raymond Stars, but now since he took over with Ikorodu City, it has been one win against other teams in the MPFL, and really he deserves all the accolade that he's getting. And you have to give kudos to him. Thumbs up to Coach Awero, who has taken Ikorodu City from nowhere now to top, among the top teams in the MPFL. Looking at the way the table is, Raymond Stars points chalked down with extra 2, and you have them having 54 points from 28 matches, 15 as goal difference, closed by Rivers United 46, and you look at it, 8 points now from 10 points down to 8 points now, and Rivers United coach Finidi George trying to see how you can continue to cut down the point of Raymond Stars. But now they still have the chance that if they hold well, at least 10 more matches to go in the MPFL. And you look at Raymond Stars leading with 8 points. All they need to do is to make sure they hang on there to be able to do it for Remo Stars fans. Ikorodu City, surprisingly, this team right now, they are the Nottingham Forest of Nigerian Premier League, doing so well. 44 as their point, 9 as goal difference. Shooting Stars of Ibadan, 43, they lost to Katsina United, so that dropped them down to 4th position, having 43 points. Enugu Rangers, who play 1-1 against Aqua United at the Cathedral, they have 42 points. Kano Pillars lost to Kwara United. They also have 42 points, a -1 as goal difference. They are making them to stand 6th on the log. Eyimba International, 41. Abia Warriors, despite losing their game, they at least stand number 8 on the log with 41 points. Imama Amapakabu holding sway there. El Kalemi Warriors also, they try their best to stand among the top 10 in the MPFL with the -2, 40 points they've gathered despite losing that game. And Kwara United winning against Kano Pillars have given them that chance to get propelled from 36 points to 39 points with 4 as their goal difference. Kudos to the top 10 right now who are fighting hard to hold on to this side of the table. Remo Stars, Rivers United, Ikorodu City, Shooting Stars, and you have Enugu Rangers. Like Obadino said, well, teams from 46 second position having 46 points down to 46 points at Drill 2, so it's very, very open for all the teams to at least jump over the order. So because between El Kalemi and Rivers United, you have 6 points separating them, so anything can happen with just 2 matches. You can see El Kalemi jump into second if they are able to win 2 matches, and if Rivers decided to hold on to it, it will still remain the way it is. So right now it's getting more interesting, the MPFL match day 28, 10 more matches, and we'll have the winner of this league. Well, this flip side of the MPFL getting more interesting for the fact that Bende Insurance won against Remo Stars and they jumped to 11, having 38 points from 35. So at least they've joined 2 places there and move on to 11 on the log. Niger Tornadoes are having 37 points. Katsina United winning that game at least put them from 33 to 36. And Plateau United also doing well. They've jumped over, at least having hope that they'll be able to hold on, getting away from relegation point. You look at them formally standing down the log, but right now they jumped to 14th on the log, a -1 in goal difference, 34 on the log table. Heartland, they have 34 points. Bayelsa United, 34 points, a -3 for the 2 of them. Sunshine Stars of Akure being able to share its point against Nasarawa United in Lafia. That has given them an edge. They have 32 points. They were formerly having 31. Now they stand 17. Nasarawa United getting to have a point. They have 28 before. Now they jump to 18 with 29 points. Just a point separate them from Aqua United, who also share points with Rangers International. And right now they have 28 points. Lobby Stars, well, they lost their game at home. Surprisingly, the Sugar Size team couldn't get a win at the Cathedral. They've been their new home over there in Enugu. They have a -15 as goal difference, and they have 23 points. But Lobby Stars, they really need to find a way that the shoe that actually have size will get to begin to separate them from getting relegated. They have 10 more matches for them to be able to at least do well. If they are able to win, well, they can still escape this relegation, because if you look at the way the table is, 23 points, 5 points separating them from Aqua United. Between Aqua and Lobby, 5 points is there, and you look at them, 29, 6 points, 32. It keeps increasing by 8 or 9 points, and that's how it is right now. So if they can fight hard, they can still be able to make it. The remaining 10 matches, let's assume they are able to win it. That would be a plus for Lobby Stars, who are right now trying to get themselves together. Lobby Stars, Babaganaru, can he save that team? Well, the remaining 10 matches will actually speak volume if they are able to win in that particular encounter. Well, top 4 for Lobby Stars, 23 points. Aqua United 28, Nasarawa United 29, and it's getting much more tougher for teams from 17, 18, 19, and 20, because 10 more matches, in fact, still open down to Bende Insurance, Nigerianews. All of them needs to be very careful. The second side of the MPFL, all the teams here really needs to be very careful. They need to watch it if they are to do well in this competition. And we just have to talk about our own league. After all, we need to celebrate ours. MPFL really is getting better. No matter how you say it, we continue to push for the promotion of this league, and it gets better. Nigerian National League is on holiday right now. NLO Nationwide League 1, that is the third tier of Nigerian League. NWFL is also on break. The Nigerian Women Football League, we've always been trying to see how we can promote all our leagues and all the talent that have been at least plied their trade in this our own football league. Well, for Remo Stars, 8 points ahead of Rivers United. They want to try their best to see how they can hold on. Although it's not very easy, it's shaky, but they have 8 points. They just have to be very careful not to slip off so that other things will not catch up with them. They really need to tighten up the belt right now, because as it is, the remaining 10 matches will be very, very technical, very physical, and unpredictable, because all the teams will be looking at how to gather points to see how they can climb and hold on. And if Remo Stars are not careful, so as it is, they really need to wake up from their slumber and begin to win games, even on away games. If they are able to win home, win an away game, or draw, get a point instead of losing out the whole point, and from there they can hold on to it and celebrate. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to make a record for themselves. Talking about Remo Stars there. Well, for the MPFL, getting more interesting, our league, we just have to look at it quickly. Let's talk about the big one that happened over there in England over the weekend. Manchester United against Arsenal. It was a fight to finish for the two teams, where Arsenal draw Man United at Old Trafford. Rice, Fernandes, those two players to be thanked for those 2 goals. Well, for Manchester United, they were supposed to win that game. What happened to them? They fought hard, but they could not win it. Well, that's football. You just try your best, but it didn't work out. Rice did well by getting that goal for them. Declan Rice getting that goal that made Arsenal to at least share a point with Manchester United. But as it is right now, Liverpool are running away with all speed, trying to see how they can continue to lead the pack in the Premier League right now. For Manchester United and Arsenal, that was a game that no one, a lot of people actually prayed that Man United would win that game, but Arsenal came to the party and they were able to do well in that particular encounter. Well, looking at the result of games being played in the Premier League for the weekend, you look at Liverpool able to win their game. Nottingham Forest also shocking Manchester United. That was a game that no one saw coming. For Manchester City, they did well. You have to give kudos to them. Although for a match that, if you look at how they perform, you want to give kudos to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest really are doing excellently well in the Premier League, and they are not stopping at all, holding the baton right now. And for Liverpool, they continue to see Liverpool. Liverpool also, they won their game against Southampton, 15 points between them right now. And I don't know how Arsenal will do it. Catch them if you can. That is what they are sending the message to Arsenal right now. Taking us to the result of all the other matches that took place in the Premier League for the weekend. You just have to give kudos to all the teams that participated. It's not easy doing sport at all. So right now, looking at the result, Nottingham Forest won their game. Arsenal, they drew against Manchester United. Liverpool, they were able to at least defeat Southampton in that game. Ipswich Town against Crystal Palace ended 1-0. And you have Brighton, they won against Fulham 2-1 in the encounter there. Well, for Tottenham against Bournemouth, it ended 2-2. What a match. Postecoglou, the coach, really needs to tighten the bet for Tottenham Hotspur, because it's not easy at all for that team right now. For Leicester, they need to learn how to play football. Chelsea pipped them, although it was a tough moment for them. But Leicester City, they fought hard, but they could not salvage a draw. So they lost out against Chelsea, who won that game to celebrate. Although we come into that. For Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton, 1-1. 1-1, they shared the point. Aston Villa, well, they did well. 1-0 against Brentford. Were able to win that game. And Southampton, they actually couldn't hold Liverpool back. It was a moment of celebration for Liverpool, who right now they've stretched the point again ahead of Arsenal, talking about how the table is, and it's getting more interesting in the Premier League. And you have to give kudos to Liverpool for what they've done. Really, you look at it, they are 70, a re-sprint for Liverpool. They are really sprinting, taking it at 100 meters yard, while others are running 400 meters. They are taking it at 100 meters, and they are doing so well. 42 for goal difference. You just have to give it to them. How many matches to go? Well, you look at, for them, they have 9 matches. Others, they have 10 matches. But for Liverpool, 15 points from the remaining 11 matches. If you calculate what is left there, after all, they'll be able to chalk out 15. So they'll be looking at getting more to win, at least win before even the league ends. That will be a plus for Liverpool, who are right now 15 points ahead of Arsenal, when their coach Arteta was saying, well, over his dead body, would he give up right now concerning Liverpool winning the Premier League? But the way it's going, I think it's high time the match just accept. 55 of 70, 15 point adrift. Nottingham Forest, 51. That team, they are really doing so well. Beating Manchester City is a plus for them. Another feather to their heart. Chelsea, 49. Among the top four right now. Man City 47, 2 points separating there between Chelsea and Manchester City. And you have to give kudos to Chelsea, who are right now trying to see how they can be among the top four in the Premier League. Brighton, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Newcastle United, and Fulham. And if you look at the point they used to separate themselves, 49 for Chelsea, 47 for Man City. That's 2 points. 1 point, 1 point from Man City to Brighton, Brighton to Aston Villa. 1 point, and Bournemouth and Newcastle are sharing the point 44, while Fulham are having 42. But for teams like Fulham, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, this season is a roller coaster season for all of them, because no one will ever believe that they will be among the top 10 right now. Talking about Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Fulham, not forgetting Brighton, who are all among the top 10 in the Premier League. But for Liverpool, right now is the time for them to race, and they are really sprinting very, very fast to see how they can at least win the league before the league ends. That's how you do it, and kudos to Liverpool for what they've done. Now let's flip it to the other side and look at other teams who are trying to see how they can hold on to the Premier League. The likes of Crystal Palace, Brentford, Tottenham Hotspur. Well, they have 34, 38, 39, and you have Manchester United standing 14th on the log. What happens to the Red Devils? Sharing that point with Arsenal actually got them 34 points, just 1 point, and they still remain in 14th position. They love that position, just number 14. Everton, West Ham United, those two teams, 33, 33, and you look at Wolverhampton Wanderers, 23, Ipswich and Leicester, 17 points, and Southampton, well, St. Mary's team are not finding it easy. They've been on that 9 point for who knows how many weeks. They've stand on the 28th position, a minus 48, minus 37, minus 32 for all the teams. And you calculate that Manchester United are right now still trying to see how they can move away from even that 14th position, a minus 6 for them. Everton are not finding it easy, minus 4. West Ham from London, minus 15. Wolverhampton Wanderers, a minus 19 for their goal difference. And you look at Crystal Palace, Brentford ahead of Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United, who are having both points, 34, 34, in the pecking order of the Premier League match day 29. Although majority are yet to play their match day 29, they are on match day 28. But for Liverpool, they've done it. They already played their own 29. So we have to look at 29 as the match day table. But right now, getting more juicy for the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, who are really fighting hard to catch up with Liverpool. But it is a good one for Liverpool, who have been able to do it right now, making hay while the sun shine. They've been able to top the table with extra 15 points ahead of Arsenal, who will be trying their best to see how they can even cut down. But you look at Liverpool right now, they are not ready to stop sprinting, not looking back, that other things are coming. With these remaining 9 matches for them, they are able to cut it, at least win maybe 4 matches, or 4 or 5 matches about like that, and they'll be able to win the league as it's going right now. For Liverpool, onslaught actually is the answer. They're celebrating that man right now. It's making them not to even miss Jurgen Klopp. Despite all he did with that team, he took over, and now he has actually set another standard for that team. 70 points ahead of Arsenal, who are having 55 points there. Taking you through the matches played over the weekend in the Premier League, and you have to give kudos to all the winning teams. Now let's cross over and talk about La Liga, where Kylian Mbappe, he seems to really be doing so well. He's grooving to almost all the matches that they are playing. They are beat for him. He has been scoring easily, and watch out for Mbappe. Lots of records that young lad will actually break as he's with Real Madrid right now. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have set so many records of bars, but right now that man is coming to edge some of those records. Watch out for Kylian Mbappe. Looking at that story, La Liga, Mbappe scores as Real Madrid beats they actually beat Rayo Vallecano to go join top. It's getting more interesting because Barcelona did not play their game against Osasuna. It was postponed, and now that has given Real Madrid a chance to also close the gap. Although by the time Barcelona plays, we wait to see that one. As it says, looking at the fact that Mbappe is doing so well, scoring goals so easy, and is among the top when it comes to goal scoring over there in Spain. Well, over the weekend, good one for our own Nigeria export. Sadiq Umar doing well for his team, Valencia there. Let's look at the result, all the other results that we play in the La Liga, Spanish La Liga. The match day 27, 2-1 for Celta de Vigo against Leganes. And you have Villarreal, they lost at home, rather away, so Deportivo Alaves, who won their game 1-0. Valencia, Sadiq Umar was able to do well in the encounter. Still talking about the result of the Spanish La Liga there. Valencia, have to give kudos to him. He was able, the team, they were able to win. Sadiq Umar was actually able to score in that encounter there. And we have to give kudos to what he's doing. Not forgetting Real Madrid for the fact that they were also able to win their game in that particular encounter for against Rayo Vallecano. 2-1. We have Vinicius Junior and also Kylian Mbappe. They were able to score in that encounter there. Well, we'll be looking at the clips briefly, although before then, let's look at the result. Sociedad against Sevilla, Chidera Ejuke, watch out for that player. He also did well with that team, Sevilla. They were able to win against Sociedad at home. They won away, they got 3 points. Real Betis won, Las Palmas nil. Real Betis, since the arrival of Anthony to that team, is that I actually added a plus, and watch out for Isco. They are all doing well. Athletic Club against Mallorca won all. They share the point. Bilbao, they've been on roller coaster too, but this time around they have to share the point. Rayo Vallecano, like I said, they lost against Real Madrid. Getafe 2 and Atletico 1. Our own Uche did well with Getafe there, and he was among the top players that did well for Getafe in that derby against Atletico Madrid. Valladolid 1, Valencia 2. Our own Sadiq Umar on point, and he did well with his team, and they were able to score a win, and he was able to make a good one for them. Well, for Real Madrid, that particular goal, and also Vinicius Junior, just taking you through the result of match day 27 in the Spanish La Liga, where a lot of games we actually play. Okay, right now we look at the table, and then we have Anita Badino, who is back with us. Editor, okay, before we look at the table of La Liga, okay, let's have it so that you can look at it with us right now. La Liga is getting more interesting. Barcelona, they are yet to play their game against Osasuna for the postponement, but right now they have the same point with Real Madrid, who won against Rayo Vallecano. Right now they have the same 57, 46 for 31 as goal difference. Atletico Madrid 56 is so tough at the top of the Real Spanish La Liga right now. Anytime the three teams are so neck to neck, deep in the race for the La Liga trophy.
Basically, one of the toughest La Liga title race in a while that we've seen, especially knowing that any single mistake could basically turn to something else for your opponent or confer advantage on your opponent. Barcelona couldn't play at the weekend basically because they suffered the loss doctor, so they had to postpone the game. But for Atletico Madrid going up against Getafe, featuring Nigeria's Cristiano Uche, they could not put the chestnut out of the fire. They lost 2-1 in a very entertaining game. While Real Madrid, Real Madrid also had their own tough game. They struggled to get that 2-1 victory. Vinicius and Mbappe scoring those spectacular goals, but they could have scored more, because in this kind of race, you need all the goals advantage you can get, because at the end of the day, that might be the single deciding factor for the winner of the league. Even at the post-match conference, Real Madrid coach Ancelotti said either Mbappe or Vinicius could have made it 3-1 at the end of the day, but that did not happen for them. So it's a really tough call, knowing that Barcelona, they have a game in hand. So basically, currently they are tied on points with Real Madrid, but meaning that if Barcelona wins that game in hand, they go back to win 3 points ahead of the game. So it's a neck-and-neck battle in the La Liga, and it gets tougher every single week, knowing that the end is coming there every match they play.
Well, it's getting really tough out there. Looking at that table, and you have to give kudos to the three. The three teams, Barcelona, Real, and Atletico, are so close. In fact, you look at the way it's going right now. I just hope that it won't look like when Real Madrid had to win with just a point, and we've seen a situation whereby.
Yeah, we are looking at something like that because we know that the Spanish La Liga can be very tough and some surprising results are coming off the charts. We have teams trying to survive relegation, so it depends on which team you are going up against or you're playing against that will determine the kind of fire they bring to that game, and that means you might end up playing a draw and giving an advantage. And that's why I mentioned the critical part of goals difference. It might not just be 1 point; it might be goals difference that will determine the winner of this race. So who scores the best goals when they get the chance to will also be a big factor to consider.
Okay, big one there coming in Spanish La Liga, and we're looking at how the table is. Let's go back to that table because mathematically, just like Obadino said, goal difference might just be the determinant of the league this season in Spain, and it's really very tough because you look at both of them, the three of them are so close when it comes to points. So point might not even work now. It could be the goal difference, and it's getting much more interesting. In the La Liga, you look at Barcelona yet to play their game. They have 42 on goals, goal difference rather. You look at Real Madrid trailing them there. And you also look at Atletico Madrid also trailing, although on point, 57, 57, 56. And you look at the fact that the three teams, right now, they will be plotting. If you're not winning if you're not winning on point, you are winning on goal difference. And it's going to be very, very dicey when it comes to La Liga this season. And for the teams like Sevilla, Valencia, who we know are always among the top teams, but this time around, the race is not even they are not even among the table toppers now. They should not even.
And it's surprising. Yeah, basically, if you look at it that way, over the weekend, Valencia are fighting for their lives at the relegation zone. This is the first week in about 5 to 10 weeks that they are getting out of the relegation zone. Courtesy of Sadiq Umar goal that gave them that 2-1 win in a game that many did not feel they were going to win. It was a very close game, both sides having a go at each other, but Valencia managed to get out of that. Also for Sevilla, another Nigerian got their goal, AJK. They also won the man of the match in that game where they won 1-0. They are more about those regulars that we know. Even if you look at Villarreal too, most regulars that we know that puts up the fight against the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid. They are basically looking for stability in the middle of the table. This is a season to forget for most of them. I know coming to the next season, they'll probably want to put their house in order to be able to mount a fight. But of course, this season is not so over. Villarreal is not so far off the top four. They might be able to climb up with some matches to the end of the season. But yet again, you have to consider that it has been a below par season for most of the regulars that we know in the La Liga: Valencia, Villarreal, Sevilla, and the likes.
And I'm very happy for the fact that the likes of Uche, Chris Santos, and also Sadiq Umar, Nigerians are they are really doing well right now.
It's exciting, you know. This is an edict for Eric Shelley, the coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Shell rather, the coach of the Super Eagles, because now you're looking at a good edict. You having Sadiq Umar, he has scored in three goals in 3 back-to-back games. No distance between those goals. He keeps scoring. He has scored 4 and in 4 overall based on number of games he had played for Valencia after coming out from injury. AJK is also back recently from injury. You know, he has one of the highest dribbling rates in the La Liga, and you know that is very important when you are playing a wing system for a shell. You also have to look at a debut season to remember for Christopher Uche, playing his very first season. In the very first match of the season, he scored the goal. He has gotten a second and a few assists here and there, and that tells you. And he also plays in an important part of the Super Eagles that need some form of rejuvenation. That's the midfield. We need that central midfielder, that attacking midfielder that has the ability to take the ball from the midfield straight down in tough games. You know, when you are playing in Africa, you need somebody with a bit of that physicality and the ability to handle the ball, move the ball out of tough situations and drive it forward, knowing that players will run at you, and he has the physical ability to take down. We've seen him over and over in La Liga. Sometimes he does complain about the level of physical physical markings that he gets, but he seems to be the right man, and Super Eagles are reaping all the benefits.
A good one for those Nigerians playing their training in Spanish La Liga, just like somebody not said that they are really doing so well right now. A plus to all of them: Sadiq, Chris Santos, Not forgetting Chidera AJUK. Well, all doing so well over there in La Liga, Spanish there. Well, right now, we just have to talk about another Nigeria. So this time around, we're going to the place where they speak Latin, Italian, Serie, where games were played over the weekend. Ademola Lookman wouldn't stop scoring. He's doing so well right now. And we look at that story. Serie A, Lookman scores in 4-0 Atalanta win over Bianconeri. Bianconeri, that's Juventus. And that was a kind of unexpected result. At home in Turin. What happened? So that was in fact, what the match. Well, you just have to give kudos to Atalanta for what they did. I need somebody now. Were you expecting this kind of scoreline? 4-0?
I'll be lying if I said I was expecting this kind of scoreline, but he did. You have to look at it. This is Atlanta. They've shown that they can play anywhere, anytime they are in the mood. They can play, and of course, just like the coach of the team, Gasparini, talked about Ademola Lookman, said Ademola Lookman makes Atlanta better, Atlanta makes Ademola Lookman better. So it's a symbiotic relationship, and you find this kind of luck and this kind of momentum in strangest of places. Many players would have given up in the shoes of Ademola Lookman. He had played for Everton, he had played for Leipzig, he had played for Fulham, he had played for Leicester City. He had so many chances to get to the top until he arrived at Bergamo, playing for Atalanta, and of course he has been doing it. The goal he scored against Juventus was his 50th goal for Atalanta in over 100 games that he has been playing so far. And what a time to score that goal, to put them back, to put a statement in the title challenge in the Scudetto. They were so close before they fell off, and now they are climbing back and they are having a big say, scoring this number of goals. So it was an interesting game. The old lady of Turin surprised a whole lot of us.
What if performance there for Atalanta? Atalanta, they were able to win 4-0 against Juventus. Maybe you can catch a glimpse of it as we talk about it right now. It's possible. There's looking at Ademola Lookman scoring for Atalanta against Juventus. It was a fantastic moment between Juventus and Atalanta, a game that no one saw. 4 goals coming in, and really they deserve it. The man Retegi scoring the first goal via penalty, and the goals kept coming before Ademola Lookman would have even scored about 2 goals or more in that encounter. Really, he deserves all the accolades he's getting from Gasparini right now, according to the coach that he has made it seem he has actually helped them. And I just hope that Gasparini is trying to make Ademola Lookman hair swear by saying he's the one making things happen in that team. Anytime. Okay, seems Anything has gone to Italy there. All right, now, still talking about Juventus versus Atalanta. Let's have it, if it's possible, right now, the clips of that game where they actually play. Okay, well, we're looking at the results of Serie A. Matches were played. Fantastic performance from Ademola Lookman, and really, he deserves all the accolades. Atalanta versus Juventus, 4-0 at the Turin City there. Empoli lost against Roma, 2-1 for Napoli, who did well defeating Fiorentina. AC Milan 3-2 against Lecce away. That's a fantastic performance from AC Milan. Torino 2-2 against Parma. You have Cagliari 1-0 against Genoa. Venezia 1. You have Como also 1 in that game. Bologna 2, Hellas Verona 1. Inter Milan 3-2. They also won their game at San Siro. So the two teams from Milan, AC Milan and Inter, won their game by 3 goals, making it 3-2 goal, a 5-goal thriller in those encounters. Quickly, let's talk about how the table is, and it's getting tougher too in Italian Serie, because all the teams are also, the top 3 are fighting hard to see how they can hold on to it. Although Inter Milan holds sway, 61 points, followed by Napoli 60, and you have Atalanta 58. So you look at it, it's so close, 2 points or 3 points separating them between Atalanta, Inter, 2 points separating Napoli versus Atalanta, and you have Juventus far away in 52, 6 points between Juventus and Atalanta, and it's getting more interesting because they have 37 goal difference, 22 for Napoli, 36 for Inter. So Atalanta right now, they deserve all the kudos they are getting. That team, they are really trying to see if they can make it to the top to win the Scudetto. Lazio, Bologna, AS Roma, Fiorentina. I have AC Milan, Udinese among the top 10 in the Italian Serie A. Race for the Scudetto getting tougher. Match day 28, 10 more matches to go, and you have to wait till who win this battle between Inter, Napoli, and Atalanta there. Well, quickly, let's look at German Bundesliga. Matches were played in the Bundesliga. We look at the result. And we have Mönchengladbach won against Mainz 05. They won 3-0 away. But Leverkusen, surprisingly, after they lost in Champions League, they also lost in the German Bundesliga at home against Werder Bremen. Bochum 3, Bayern Munich 2. They also lost their game there. Borussia Dortmund, they lost to the Volkswagen, Signal Iduna Park there. Augsburg defeating them by a lone goal. Stuttgart 2-2 against Holstein Kiel. St. Pauli, Wolfsburg share 1-1 at Volkswagen Arena. 0-0 between Freiburg and Leipzig. Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Union Berlin 2, and have Edenheim 1, Hoffenheim 1 in the German Bundesliga. Flipping it straight down to how the table is, despite Bayern losing their game, they still hold sway, topping the table there with 61 points ahead of Bayern Leverkusen, who also lost. They have 53 points. Mainz 05, 44. Eintracht Frankfurt, Freiburg, Leipzig, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, Mönchengladbach, and Dortmund. Surprisingly, Borussia Dortmund among the top three when it comes to German Bundesliga. But this time around, they are not finding it easy. They stand 10th on the log with 35 points from 25 matches. But for Bayern, they are running away with it. 61 to 53, where you look at 8 points adrift for this season. It's getting more interesting in German Bundesliga. The Bavarians also want to win it. Flipping inside to the other side of the Bundesliga, Augsburg, Werder Bremen, Hoffenheim, Union Berlin, St. Pauli, Bochum, Holstein Kiel, and newcomers, two of them, Holstein Kiel and Edenheim, are not finding it easy at all. 17-16 it is for them on the log table, conceding so many goals, having a -24, -23 as their goal difference right now. For VfL Bochum, 20 points. St. Pauli, 22 points. Union Berlin, 26 alongside Hoffenheim, while Bremen and Augsburg, where we have our own tank, they call it the tank man playing for Augsburg there, Onyeka Frank, his team, they are standing 11th on the log with 35 points, a -7 for Augsburg on the league table in the German Bundesliga. Well, seriously getting more interesting for the fact that teams are fighting hard to stay top, not to go on relegation, as they have to run the battle or the race to the top in the Bundesliga. The Bavarians, they have a chance to also win the league this season because they are 8 points ahead of the second on the log, talking about the fact that it's getting more easy for this particular team called Bayern Munich. They always show their class when it comes to the German Bundesliga. So we've talked about the MPFL, where Remo Stars are leading by 8 points, but for Spanish La Liga, it's a tough one because it's just neck to neck between Barcelona, Real Madrid, over there in Spanish La Liga. For Liverpool, they've done it, at least 15 points ahead of Arsenal, and they really want to win the league. They are running away with it. Now, before we go, right now, let's celebrate the team who has been assistant for 120 years of Chelsea. 120 years. Well, Stamford Bridge is the place. We have to celebrate Chelsea for being 120 years today. Well, for Chelsea, they've won so many trophies, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, talk about everything. So many history behind our club. We celebrate Chelsea, the Blues of Chelsea. 120 years. No joke at all. Well, for the show actually that we brought to you on 360 Sports, special thanks to Eniton Badino journal from Lagos. Due to network, we couldn't continue with us, but we appreciate you, Eniton Badino. Thank you so much for joining us. And from the entire team that has made this happen, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Keep doing sport, it's fitness and business. Thanks for watching.